We apologize for that technical challenge. Let's take you to Tema Community 6. I visited the community over the weekend to find that residents of that area have to live with a stench of sewage passing through open drains. The neighborhood is referred to by the authorities as a Class A residential area. And a visit to the place confirms this. Lovely buildings, well-manicured lawns, and a tree-lined street with some flowers to add to the greenery. But behind this picturesque area is something which is a bit of an eyesore, and it's not good for the nose either. On the next street is an earth drain carrying wastewater and sewage from the community and many others upstream.
It's feces, human waste that is passing through this thing, you understand? So it's actually causing a lot of havoc in this community. Seriously, we are going through a lot. The scent at night when you are in your room and you can smell it, it's just as if it's just behind your window. It's just crazy. TMA knows about this. The TMA came here, some time back, that they are coming to work on it. They even brought some, materials and stuff, started digging and stuff like that. We thought they were going to divert it through the normal channel where it's supposed to pass. And they were working, seriously. But then it got to a point when they stopped and they never came back. We don't know what happened. All this land that you are seeing, it belongs to people. Even this gutter is on someone's land, you understand? It's just on someone's land. And the owner of the land wouldn't allow this thing to, even if he wants to build now, he wouldn't be able to build because there's gutter here. And this gutter is not just a normal gutter, it's waste. Toilets, whatever, name it, waste. This is not yesterday's issue. It's years ago. Years. I can tell 15, 18, 20 years. Yeah. So
the waste has been passing through people's plots of land for years.
Yeah, for years. You can see the erosion that is causing. When it started, it was so small. Now the erosion is causing because of the erosion, so it's widening up. You can see it's widening up. Nobody know. Maybe next time before you come here, you see it on this road. Yeah, because anytime the water is flowing, it breaks some of the sand besides it. It falls into the water. And so the erosion is just widening up the whole gutter. And it's becoming very big. Look at how big it is now. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. We are so worried. I'm so happy, that you guys are here right now.
It was, however, worth noting that some residents of the area have no way of disposing of wastewater. They therefore have to channel their water onto adjoining plots of land. The drain leads to a large canal of water, which has also become a waste dump. At this point, the water and sewage which flows from the homes you have just seen meets this major earth drain, which then carries the water through Community 3 into the sea. Residents of the area have told Joy News that they have offered to partner the Tema Metropolitan Assembly to find a more agreeable solution to the issue of transporting waste and sewage water into the sea. They, however, say the Assembly authorities have refused to respond to these requests. Daniel Daze, Joy News, Tema Community 6. Let's stay with this issue now, and Waste Management Director at the Tema Metropolitan Assembly, Engineer Solomon Noy, has assured residents of that community his office will lay underground pipes to carry the sewage in 3 months. He says the Assembly is working to gather the resources needed to undertake the project from private individuals who live in the area. He spoke to me on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM this Monday.
We went there and we realized that we needed to use steel pipes to be able to solve the problem because it is now serving as a river, which is not the best. So we liaised with a Majaro company that has a portion of land there, and as a result of his development, he has buried most of the manholes at the area. So we need to get it right. Then we spoke to Gapohad because they also have their guest house or the director's flat over there. Then we spoke to another company, even a former member of parliament stays there. Then, because of the nature of equipment and the nature of the pipes that we have to use, we needed a crane and other logistics to be able to cut the material from wherever we will get them to the site. And then we were in talks with them. And then we gave them what we call a material schedule and a bill as to what we will be able to do to resolve the situation once and for all. All we want is to wait for them to tell us we are ready, come for this equipment, how long will the work last, and then we'll get it resolved. If the materials were ready, I can stick my neck out and say within about a month, we can get the problem resolved. But now that we will be doing legal action and we'll do the necessary correspondences, let's give ourselves maybe the next 3 months. We should get the problem resolved.
That is 3 months to have a complete resolution to this issue, which you have stated has serious health implications.
3 months, we would have exhausted everything we need to exhaust to get them on board, or they would have been okay, organized themselves, get us the logistics, and then we move to site, and then even before the 3 months that I've stated, we will get it done. So I wouldn't want to stretch it too much by saying that today or tomorrow. We are in February. 3 months from now, I think we should get it done.
Let's move away from issues having to do with that area of the Greater Accra region, because traders at the Mallam markets have issued a 3-day ultimatum to the Sanitation Ministry to hand over their reclaimed land, else they will forcefully take it back. This shows a show of strength by the military, dumping 185 bags of salt belonging to the market women into a nearby stream. The military have been stationed as the reclaimed portion of the land near the market under the directive of the Sanitation Minister, Joseph Kofi Adda, since the ministry secured the land to be developed into a modern dumping site. The officers guarding the area have since denied the traders from accessing this land. This has courted the displeasure of the traders. Now, Nath is one of the leaders of the traders at Mallam Market, and he's been speaking to Joy News' Parker Wilson.
This market land, we the Mallam Market Traders Association acquired the land from the Gbawe family. We acquired 13.45 acres, fully documented from the Gbawe family, and we started the market here. So as our market got bent, and the government came in, the then government came in that they are coming to assist us rehabilitate it until the change came, and the local government also has come in to assist that, awarded the Mallam market to Comet contractors to come and rehabilitate the Mallam market for us. And at my far left here, you can see that they have started with the toilet facility. On my far left here, they have started with they wanted to start constructing a crèche for the school. So we have also informed all the traders that we have to pave way for the contractors to construct the market for us, the sheds that has been designed for them to construct it for us. Now, where are we to go? We said we wanted to move to our land that has been reclaimed, because we started the reclaiming until the Minister of Sanitation, Mr. Kofi Adda, and his team came in that they wanted to assist us because the government wanted to make the Accra a cleaner city. So if you have reclaimed and the construction of the new market is about to take off, we said we wanted to move to where it has been reclaimed so that we pave way for the new market to take place. This has become a problem between the markets and the Sanitation Minister. So we are calling on the appropriate authorities, the local government minister, that the reason why the Mallam Market Rehabilitation Project cannot go on is because Mr. Kofi Adda has stationed military men on the reclaimed land that the Mallam Market Traders people wanted to go on and do their business. Now, almost about 4 months now, the contractors are here idle, not doing anything, just coming and sitting down. So we don't know actually what is going on, who is behind the land, who wanted to take the land from us. We needed the authorities to investigate for us.
So now the salt have been destroyed by the military.
Yeah.
What are you doing about it?
Yes, we wanted to use your medium to appeal to the Ghana Armed Forces that we have given them 3 days for them to come down and come and resolve this issue for us. And also the Sanitation Minister to come down and come and resolve this issue for us. Because if we don't hear anything, we will apply legally and demonstrate to the whole world, for the whole world to see what actually has gone on. Because how can you eat salt and at the same time a soldier man called Kumsin order his people to put the salt, 185 bags of salt, into a gutter, into a stream? Will he eat salt? Will his people eat salt? Will his family eat salt? That is the question we ask for now.
So after the demonstration, what next? So what? That's why we say.
That is why we are saying that we have given the military, the sanitation, 3 days to come and resolve this issue. If not, we are calling all the traders to move to the reclaimed land so that they will come and kill all of us.
Let's say a bit more of this story and go on the phone lines and get the latest, because we understand the Sanitation Minister Joseph Kofi Ada is heading to the scene. Parker Wilson is at that scene. Parker, he joins us on the phone lines. Parker, has the Sanitation Minister arrived at the market?
No, Daniel, not yet, but we gathered information that he's on his way here. We don't know when he will arrive, though, but we've been told by some persons, some military man here, that he will be here shortly. But what is happening is that the military men have tried their best to resolve the issue by telling the traders to calm. So the traders have calmed down and they are waiting patiently for the arrival of the minister, who we are told that will be here shortly. So this is the current situation here.
So the situation is not so tense anymore?
No, it's not tense anymore. The market women are just under their tents. Others have gathered to just have a conversation.
Thank you, Parker Wilson, for that report. Let's move on. And an Accra High Court has set aside the judgments by a juvenile court that's jailed a final year student of Achimota Senior High School in Accra for killing a female colleague in January 2017. The High Court said there was a miscarriage of justice because the juvenile court delivered a verdict without waiting for a social inquiry report. The jail term was imposed in September 2017 by a juvenile court presided over by Bernardine S.A. Senu. Joy News' Joseph Akable was in court and joins us with more. Joseph, can you explain the reasons for the question of the judgments by the High Court?
Well, so Daniel, there were two main issues that lawyer for the students had argued before the court. The first had to do with whether the court that heard the matter had the jurisdiction to hear the case in the first place, and the second has to do with whether it followed due process in the trial judge ordering for a social inquiry report after it had sentenced the student. With regards to the first issue, the court did hold that, the case started at a district court and was subsequently transferred to a juvenile court when they realized that the gentleman was less than 18 years of age and was therefore required to be tried under the Juvenile Act. So the court has said that it saw the process as a continuation of what had started at the district court. And so the juvenile court had jurisdiction to hear the matter. On the second issue of whether the due process was followed, that was where the court held that the trial judge erred in ordering for the social inquiry report to be issued, especially when the law says it shall be issued before sentencing. So the trial judge said in issuing it after the sentencing, and the judge said that it was when the court realized it was about running out of time with regards to the 6-month deadline that they are supposed to trial persons who are brought before the juvenile court. It was at that point that the court went ahead to sentence the gentleman before acting for the social inquiry report to be issued. So the court said that amounted to a miscarriage of justice, for which reason it quashed that decision and also ordered a discharge of the student. So
the accused person is now free?
Yes, per the orders of the court, he has been discharged by the court. But what we are picking up is because, more often than not, when cases are before court and they are clear, they have to come acquitted and discharged. But in this case, you are being told of just a discharge, which means that perhaps if the state is minded to either appeal or be minded to prosecute the matter again,
right.
They may take that up. As to whether they can try that or that procedure applies to a juvenile, also are issues that will be left to the legal practitioners and the courts for that matter to decide.
Were the relatives of the deceased in court, and what was their reaction to today's ruling?
They are not. I've not been present in court since this particular appeal started. There was during the early days where the case itself was being heard at the juvenile level was when they were present in the court. With regards to this appeal, they've not showed up entirely. In terms of the relatives for the student who was today discharged, they were also not present in court. Just the lawyers who were present, and they looked quite happy when a decision was given, and as respected of them, they showed application to the court and headed out of courtroom immediately. Just before they left, they had asked the judge to be very clear in terms of his decision, because he had discharged the gentleman, but he asked that, does that mean that an order allowing his release? They wanted that to be very firm, and the judge said that he thought it flowed directly from the decision, but if they asked for that, then the order also follows that he should be discharged.
Thank you very much, Joseph Akablay, for that report from the course. Now let's move on. The Planting for Food and Jobs program introduced by the NPP government is said to have given employment to thousands of people in the country. But despite the fall armyworm invasion of maize farms, some maize farmers who took part in the program say yields have tripled, creating a bumper harvest. Maize sellers in Wild Market, however, have some concerns. On Joy News Agenda today, Joy News' Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam takes a look at the implementation of the Planting for Food and Jobs program in the region.
Few months after taking the mantle of leadership of the country, the Kufuor government embarked on one of their ambitious programs promised electorates during the 2016 electioneering campaign. Planting for Food and Job is a 5-year-long policy which is geared towards increasing food productivity and ensures food security for the country, as well as reduces food import bills to the barest minimum. It is also an avenue to modernize agriculture and make it a source of employment for the teeming youth. Out of the 200,000 farmers that registered for the program in the northern belt of the country, 30,000 of them are from the Upper West region. Seed and fertilizer were sold to them at 50% subsidized rate, coupled with free agriculture extension services to them. 42-year-old Leticia Salier is a leader of 11-member Balayili Women Farmers Group at Zingu Balamuni in the Wa municipality. The group cultivated maize on a 14-acre land and got 108 maxi bars of maize.
This year we get more than all the years. The reason is the fertilizer they gave us, very good and expensive too. We enjoyed from it. Our farms were very nice and very good. The applying of the fertilizer, our AEA showed us how to apply the fertilizer. We did it very well in such a way that we gained a lot. Last year we do get 3 or 4, which is more not good. But this year, speaking, we have got so much maize.
Before the introduction of the program, she was local molding pots for sale at the War Market. She was excited about the program as it has enabled her to take care of her 3 children at school.
I sold some for my children to go to school. There are 3. One is at Pusa Islamic, 1, 2 at Bole Secondary, and 1, 2 at Mampom Environmental Studies. So I use this maize to sell and help my own self.
She, however, will wish that tractor services should be provided for them.
How to plow the land, a tractor. We do struggle a lot. At times, a tractor will come to this village. He come and plow 1 acre for somebody. You beg, they don't mind, they'll go away. Okay. You won't get them again. You struggle when the rain rains, but you won't get a tractor to plow your land to sow. For that one, we are begging so that if anybody can just help us in such a way that we can also farm. If we were farming 2 acres, we increase it to 5 or 6.
It's news today on your Joy News channel. Coming up, teachers resist directive by Education Ministry instructing them to extend school hours to 4:30. But to what effect? We'll find out when we return from the break. Thanks for staying with us. Now, graduate teachers are resisting a directive by the Ghana Education Service to extend their teaching time from 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. According to the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, GES and some school heads agreed to the time extension without consulting them. They also cite overbloated classrooms as one of the impediments to implementing this directive. They add they are not civil servants and will therefore not close at 4:30 p.m. The first time the Education Minister Matthew Pokupempe hinted of this was in August 2017. According to him, the 2 p.m. closing time is not favorable for working parents and guardians and also affects the standard of education in the country. Well, how true is that? Let's speak to the educationists to interrogate this further. Ken Podo is my guest. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Is it true that if we close school at 4:30, the standards of education in Ghana will go up?
No, that's not true.
Really?
Yes, it's not true. Because it's not the hours, it's what goes into the time that makes the difference. And there's enough research to tell us that countries that are doing well do not even spend the number of hours we spend in school. So extending the time to 4:30 is a waste of everybody's time, including the students.
A keen observation in any of these private basic schools would show that a lot of these private basic schools do have extra hours that they spend, extra classes. A number of these students would have classes on Saturdays and what have you. And they name this as a key determinant for covering the large syllabus we have.
No. That also is another error. Because for you to have effective execution or for a teacher to be very effective in class, what goes into it is what you put in your year program, your termly program, your monthly program, your weekly program, and your daily program. And then you must have a very strong goal to achieve for the student. If these things are established and you plan purposefully and you execute well, it is not the number of hours that will make a difference. So for the extra classes that we have been having, seriously, the bottom line is to make some level of income for the schools and the people that are involved in it. The student does not need that extended time to make it, because those that are doing well in educational ladder all over the world, for countries like Finland, Singapore, the South Korea, they don't spend this time of hours in school.
But since you refer to these countries with much more improved education systems, for a country like Finland, for instance, you find that the curriculum itself is not loaded. So they do not need that number of hours in school. And of course, they grade themselves, and so they find that the children are graded according to what they do when they spend those 3 hours or 4 hours in school. But here in Ghana, we have a standardized education examination that we have to take across West Africa, which has a large syllabus, which requires time to cover.
It does not necessarily mean it requires, yes, the time, that is what you have. What goes into the time? That is the most important thing. What are we teaching? There's a lot of waste in the things that we teach. If you can focus and communicate clearly as a teacher, you don't need that number of hours in order to do that. And then also, we get students to come to school early, and the teachers are also trained in the school. See, the challenge we are having is the source. We are not dealing with the source of the problem. We are dealing with the root, the branches. That's why we're having a challenge. The source of the problem is when you are training the teacher, how do you train the teacher? What do you impart? So they give the same training to the teachers, making them understand that it is a number of hours that you spend in front of me as an instructor. That is what is going to make you improve the instructional things of the child in the classroom. But that is wrong. It is what you transfer to the teacher and who the teacher is. Because in these countries that we spoke about, you don't take a grade 36 to go to College of Education. It is the best of the best that goes there. So what you do is you are inspiring them. That is leadership. They must see themselves as leaders in the classroom. And what does a leader do? You inspire the child. You influence the child. You point the child in a direction that under normal circumstances, he wouldn't think he can get to that particular place. But that is what is lacking in the way we train our teachers. Okay. So we substitute that for the number of hours. It's not the quantity, it's the quality, effectiveness.
So you will agree with the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, when they say the number of instructional hours should not be extended from 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m.?
Definitely. I'm on their side on this one.
Right. Thank you very much, Ken Bodo, for joining us now. That was an educationist giving us his thoughts there on that issue with education. Let's move on. And dumped, abandoned, and forgotten till death comes knocking. That is the story of many healed lepers as the Weija leprosarium, and possibly in all leprosariums across the country. In this special report, Nancy Emefa Dwadosi brings to you a story of one man who only got the love of his family when he went 6 feet down. A classic case of the family loving the dead more than the living.
Lepers pouring their gratitude to God. All of them have been ostracized because of their illness. Even though they are healed, they cannot go back home because of huge stigma. My concern in this story is Opening Seth Kwabna Ejekum, 92 years. The Weija leprosarium has been his home, where he spent more than half of his life. He could not return home because it was difficult integrating into his community. His feeding, clothing, and shelter were all by courtesy or the benevolent hearts of some Ghanaians. Sadly, he has passed. I attended his funeral. On this day, family, friends, and acquaintances are here to pay their last respect to him and give him a good send-off. Dressed in the best of clothes, laid in a casket with flowers. George Kwanzaa, the caretaker of the leprosarium, is angry and stated that Openyi Ejekum's family did not support his welfare.
He complains a lot that they are not getting this, they are not getting that. But sometimes I also come peeved. And so one day I even told him that you are complaining. I've never seen your relative bringing anything here. Have I seen your relative bringing something here which should be given to you, which I didn't? No, I haven't seen it. Unfortunately, that is the only impression the caretaker of the facility, George Kwanzaa, had of the late Opening Ejekum. Isaac Agri adored his good friend Opening Ejekum. A month ago, they had a swell time singing together, but today, his smiles quickly faded.
They won't do it. When we said the father come ahead and then one be short, we will never feel like a semi or bear not there. Over pack a cast and listen to what pack a packet do ahead. Then who has a seminar dinner? I have it. So you want more for the camera, Sanya. You don't know family, so where family one back also into a country in Chile.
The family of Opening Ejekum are not happy that I attended the funeral of their beloved family member. They questioned my intentions.
But my worry is it's a private funeral. If you want to talk about it in general terms, that's absolutely fine. So we've heard stuff as well, as though we're doing something that we're not supposed to be doing, or we should be taking care of our family members, what have you, and we've neglected them. But I never neglected my father. He tried to integrate into society. He didn't want to stay here.
Family members carried the final remains of Opening Ejekum to the cemetery. Today, many cars followed him. The thoughts that annoyed the ever-cool Catholic priest, Father Andrew Campbell, who has been supporting the healed lepers for years.
Mr. Ajukum, we took him to the hospital. He was there for weeks. He wasn't covered by NHIS because his foot needed to be amputated. We were there every day. Somebody stayed with him. And we took care of all his medication. Everything we took care of. And now he's dead. And the funeral, there's plenty of cars, plenty of visitors, plenty of fun. Where were they when he was alive? This has to stop.
He recounts another healed leper, Mr. Corte, who had a big funeral, but his relatives did not take care of him when he was alive.
But this particular man, when he died, I went to his room, and he had a beautiful, nose written up and down. So I picked that one out. So he said, next day I'm coming back for the funeral. And I came back the next day, and there was a coffin, and the man was in a suit. Well, I said, yesterday we decided.
This is Joy News Today. Business is up next.